Hi, I'm Harry Bloom. I'm the Director of Planning and Performance Improvement for the Institute for University School Partnership of the Azrieli Graduate School at Yeshiva University. I am here to introduce a series of video presentations all around the theme, doing all we can to ensure our day school's affordability. The topic for today's video is proactive student recruitment. In our environment, where every school is struggling to keep up with the demands for financial aid, with unemployment, with the need to keep our classrooms full, it is more important than ever that we leave no stone unturned in terms of bringing students into our classrooms to fill them to capacity. And I'll give you a data point that I think shows the importance of this. A recent research study that was done among 40 day schools throughout the country across the various religious denominations and types of schools indicated a difference in operating costs per student from roughly $7,500 to more than $30,000. And looking beneath the surface of this, yes, there are differences in terms of how much teachers get paid, and there are some differences in terms of, how much art or music, etc., is offered. But one of the key differences that determines that difference in cost is capacity utilization, meaning how many students relative to how many students are actually in the school relative to how many could be in the school, in the classroom, in the building. When we have emptier classrooms, right, we put a greater burden on those families that do attend the school. So I'm going to talk about a very proactive way to bring students into your school. Let's start with how it's done today in many places. In many places today, we have an admission director. We have perhaps a board committee that might support the work of that admission director. And particularly in the fall, we put ads in the newspapers, the Jewish newspapers, the general newspapers. We might run open houses for people to visit the school. And what we find is that these ways of attracting students are in many cases not very effective. We put a lot of effort into them, we put a lot of money into them, but what happens if you don't get enough response from those? How do you actually create inquiries and interest in your school if it doesn't come out of ads and open houses? So the answer really is a set of 5 things that you can do. The first thing to do is identify, obviously, what your goals are from a recruitment standpoint. How many students do you want at the entry level of your school? How many students do you want as lateral transfers into the upper grades of your school? You'd be surprised how often this is not done in terms of concrete targets. So having that target, the next question is, how do we establish the sources of those students that we want to fill our classes with? And the concept here that I want to put on the table is called market segmentation. Take the roof off your school. If you look down at the various students and families represented in your school community, what you will find is that they represent subgroups of people who are market segments, who might have common interests and are reachable in various ways through perhaps synagogues that they attend. They might be reachable through social networks. Let's take Israelis for an example, or Russian Jews, or Jews who are Sephardic or Ashkenazic, etc. Jews who live in this neighborhood versus Jews who live in that neighborhood. Those are market segments. Why are they market segments? Because they have 2 characteristics. One, they have a relatively cohesive set of needs and social networks. And secondly, they're targetable, right? I can make lists of them, right? I can find people to connect to them. And so when you take the roof off your school and you look down, the first question is, who's currently attending my school? What groups of people or individuals are attending my school? The next thing I can do is find out why are they attending my school. We can do market research about that. And that market research will tell us what is it about our school that they find distinctive such that they choose our school in preference to another school. And by doing market research, which could be focus groups or could be quantitative research through parent surveys, we get a lot of insights that are going to help us. We answer the following questions. What messages do they have to